When the latest All Blacks team was finally announced, fans expected surprises, bold decisions, and perhaps a glimpse into the future of New Zealand rugby. Instead, what they got was something very different. It wasn't a squad filled with risky selections or experimental combinations. It was a message. A message that Dave Rennie believes consistency is more valuable than constant change, even when facing an opponent many expected would provide the perfect opportunity to test fresh talent. That decision has instantly divided opinion across the rugby world. Some supporters believe it's exactly what the All Blacks need after an encouraging performance against France, while others are wondering if valuable opportunities are quietly slipping away. The biggest talking point isn't who made the team, it might actually be who didn't. There were 5 changes to the starting lineup, but none of them felt particularly shocking. The return of Tupou Vaa'i was expected after recovering from concussion, while the inclusion of Wallace Satidi and Tyrell Lomax arguably makes the team even stronger. Billy Proctor and Leroy Carter have already shown they belong at this level, so their selections felt like natural progress rather than headline-making surprises. On paper, it's a balanced squad. But beneath the surface, it also reflects a coach who isn't prepared to gamble with momentum. That approach becomes even more interesting when you consider the players still waiting for their opportunity. Many supporters believed this match would be the ideal moment to hand more young stars a starting jersey. Instead, some promising names remain on the sidelines. Last week's debutants, including Fahai Finianganofo, who is unavailable through injury, and Xavier Numia, are no longer part of the matchday 23. While 2 fresh faces do arrive on the bench, the overall message remains clear. Dave Rennie wants players to earn every minute, and he isn't rushing anyone into international rugby before he believes they're fully ready. Perhaps no player represents this conversation more than Beauden Barrett, a legend of New Zealand rugby. A test centurion, a player who has delivered unforgettable moments throughout his career. Yet once again, his name is missing from the matchday squad. Every week that passes without his return raises another question about where he fits in this new era. Ruben Love continues to impress with confidence and composure, while Damian McKenzie remains one of the most dangerous attacking players in world rugby. Together they offer speed, creativity, and unpredictability, giving the coaching staff little reason to change a combination that is beginning to build chemistry. For many fans, seeing Beauden Barrett left out is almost impossible to believe. His experience, leadership, and game management have defined countless All Blacks victories over the years. But international rugby is constantly evolving, and every generation eventually reaches a point where difficult selection decisions must be made. Whether this is only a temporary absence or the beginning of a much bigger transition remains one of the most fascinating stories surrounding the team. While experienced stars continue to dominate the headlines, there is still excitement surrounding 2 new faces preparing for their first taste of Test rugby. Anton Segner has quietly built a reputation as one of the hardest-working loose forwards in Super Rugby. His ability to compete at the breakdown, tackle relentlessly, carry strongly, and contribute in the line-out makes him an incredibly complete player. Coaches love players who consistently do the unseen work, and Segner has earned exactly that reputation through determination rather than hype. Alongside him is Josh Moorby, whose attacking performances this season have made him impossible to ignore. His finishing ability, pace, and confidence with the ball have turned him into one of the competition's most exciting outside backs. Modern rugby demands far more than raw speed, and Moorby has shown impressive strength under the high ball while remaining dangerous whenever space appears. Even if his opportunity begins from the bench, supporters will be eager to see how his Super Rugby form translates onto the international stage. Yet despite these encouraging additions, questions continue to surround some of the broader selection decisions. Experience remains important, but every successful rugby nation eventually faces the challenge of balancing established stars with emerging talent. Players cannot gain Test experience unless they are trusted with meaningful opportunities. That debate becomes especially relevant in positions where long-term planning is essential. Supporters naturally wonder whether now is the right moment to prepare the next generation before bigger challenges arrive later in the season. The reality is that coaching at international level is rarely about making the most popular decision. It is about making the decision you believe gives your team the best chance of winning while quietly building toward the future at the same time. Dave Rennie appears determined to build confidence through stability before introducing widespread change. If the All Blacks continue winning, criticism will quickly fade into the background. But if performances begin to decline, every selection choice will come under even greater scrutiny. That is exactly what makes this match so intriguing. It is about far more than simply defeating Italy. Every performance, every substitution, and every tactical decision will shape the direction of this All Blacks squad moving forward. Can the experienced players continue justifying the faith placed in them? Will the new debutants seize their moment if called upon? And perhaps most importantly, how long can world-class players like Beauden Barrett remain outside the matchday squad before the conversation becomes impossible to ignore? One thing is certain. The journey of rebuilding and reshaping one of rugby's greatest teams is never straightforward. Every selection tells a story, every omission creates debate, and every match offers another chapter in the pursuit of excellence. Whether supporters agree with Dave Rennie's decisions or not, all eyes will now be on the All Blacks as they attempt to prove that consistency, patience, and trust in the current group can deliver another memorable performance. The answers will come on the field, and until the final whistle blows, the debate will continue.